And here we have in the wild Zealand Shannon, the managerial expert in a virtual world, laying on the charm in his natural habitat. Hey man, I was just curious. We were thinking about testing the waters with Renato Sanchez. We were hoping that we maybe throw him out there for $90 million. You know, if somebody pays it, then obviously they'd want to pay your client a lot of money, and it would just be great. You know, we would be really enjoyable. Well, you know, that sounds good to me. So let's sounds great. Oh, right. Awesome. That's great.
Now hold on just a minute here. That don't sound too good to me.
But I thought it was fine.
We've had our chance to sink our teeth into FM22 a little bit. We're playing through it on stream. It's still in the beta version, but for all intents and purposes, we are playing the complete game. If you want to watch us do that, the link to the Twitch is down in the description, or a live YouTube channel for you to check out all of the streams without having to actually figure out what big scary Twitch is. And we edit down episodic versions of it, and the like 25, 30, you get the idea. I've said this before. One of the things that has stood out to us is a revamped transfer system. It's not something that we were talking about when the game initially came out. It wasn't something that stood out to us when the game initially came out. And when you click on the actual transfer section, nothing is going to feel particularly different. But there are a couple of tweaks, and one that we literally saw on stream like yesterday that have been making a huge difference in making transfers more immersive and more realistic in a way that I really appreciate. First, and this has been happening with the salaries already for some time, the transfer value, it was announced, and we knew this, was going to be in a range. Now, I didn't realize the impact this was going to have initially, but I think it has helped a lot of people that don't play the game obsessively like I do.
Zealand, you should really go outside. All this video game playing's not going to do you much good when you need to get a job.
Mom, I promise people watch the YouTube channel. Please. Look how that turned out. I'm still convinced you're all bots that my mom buys to make me feel better about myself. That's a story for another time. The transfer ranges help people conceptualize that you're not going to be able to get a player for the exact listed price. I can't even tell you how many questions I had to answer about transfer values that were in the old game, and they're just completely inaccurate and dependent on the value of the club. Like, we would be in Belarus and we won the Champions League in FM20, but the value of my player was $4 million, but I could sell him for $90 million, but his value was $4 million. You actually don't end up with that kind of situation in FM22. It also makes the game harder to play, though, because even when you've 100% scouted someone, the stars don't even lock into place. So not only could you not necessarily trust the stars before, these little basic overall ratings that you're being given, but you now also can't even nail them down. You see, we have on a 27-year-old, we have this whole range of where this person could be. Maybe there's a little improvement left, maybe there isn't, we don't know. Even though that transfer value range was 10 to 13 million, you get 68,000 to 675,000 on the next person that comes flying through. After that, you get 3 million again. After that, you get 4 million range. After that is $50 million range right there. And you could get the player at any point of that range. You could end up having to pay more than it, less than it, but it makes it more ambiguous. It sounds like a small thing, but it makes you actually pay attention to transfer value because, like estimated salary, it is essentially the ballpark region you're going to have to enter in to sign a player. Saves you time. Also, you don't have to click on the player and go to make offer and go, well, you know, we're just going to go throw this one down and then see where they're going to end up, right? You have a general idea. You can game plan for it without wasting your time. I found it to be more accurate on young players, where the bottom of the range will be like where their transfer value used to be before. Would be like, oh, it's 100,000 for a 17-year-old because they're only 17, but the club actually wants 20 million, and the range will be like 100,000 to 20 million, and you're, oh, okay. Maybe they could refine that a little bit. You know, but who am I? A man with no ideas and a gigantic forehead. We move. And we're moving straight into another way for you to improve your life. And it actually has nothing to do with the transfer stuff. It has a lot to do with somebody who's been a sponsor of this channel for a while, NordVPN. Never has a channel had a more fitting sponsor than us with NordVPN. Because if you want to play this game, Football Manager, anywhere in the world, NordVPN can help you do it. And we're going to help you save money on getting NordVPN for the price of your morning coffee every month. If you don't know what NordVPN is, then clearly you haven't watched a lot of these videos. Just so you know, it helps you stay safe on the internet. It's a virtual private network that you're sending your data through, so it's much harder to track, and you can also put yourself in a lot of different locations around the world with the click of a button. It's very easy. Look at how easy that is. You can do this to watch your favorite sporting events, any soccer match all over the world. You just want to watch the highlights, but they're blocked in your country. NordVPN to a different country and watch those highlights. Watch the game. You've got your NBC sign-in, but you're in the UK. Well, then just VPN yourself to the United States. Use your NBC sign-in and watch the game. It doesn't just have the benefits of watching all that stuff. You've got the added safety of being able to throw yourself all over the world to throw crafty internet folk off your scent. And the deal at the link down in the description is 2 years, 73% off with 1 month free, which is $3 a month, $3 a month, and under £3 a month. So whatever you're spending on coffee in a day, you can spend that to be safe on the internet and be able to watch your favorite sporting events, play your favorite games anywhere in the world. You're welcome. Number 2. This is the one we recorded live on stream a couple of days ago. It was one of the most surprising pieces of immersion, of realism, the sort of things you play Football Manager for that not only I didn't anticipate, I'd never even thought about including in the game before, and that was a real-life interaction around the value of a player. In the past, what I would do, especially when I was developing a club over time, and I would set an asking price on every one of the players on my team, which was essentially the price that I would be willing to accept to let that particular player go. Sometimes they're outlandishly high, but it lets you know if their team's interested even remotely in that player around that price, and it helps prevent offers from teams that aren't really going to be in contention to actually sign somebody, especially because you can reject all offers that are below or equal to asking price. It's an option right over here. If you go into set an asking price in FM22, you're going to get agent feedback. This is essentially the conversation we were alluding to in the intro. Way above the value, it's not good. Now all of a sudden the asking price is good, but like most things in Football Manager, you can try and persuade them to accept the higher asking price. And again, this is just talking to the agent. Things can get a little spicier when you're talking to the actual player, as we found out. We are live on stream right now, as you can tell by the people down below us, but something just happened that I'm not going to be able to make happen when I'm just randomly filming a YouTube video off stream. So we're going to talk about this now. We set an asking price on Renato Sanchez. This was not something I saw in any of the feature releases. We set an asking price on Renato Sanchez, and as we were doing it, we were prompted with this whole like, well, he's interested or not, and Reese will be able to show you. Reese or IL, I don't know who's going to be editing this because life is a mystery. But Renato Sanchez has come to me to talk about his current asking price, and I'm inclined to talk to him about it. Hi, your asking price for me is unrealistic and unfair, which is, okay, bug alert, right? I love this feature, but it totally said that he was okay with the asking price. I'm prepared to talk about it. We can try to negotiate a fair price. What do you consider a fair price? That's not, no. Hurt, please be realistic. That's still unfairly high. Can I get 50 million for you? That works. You think a $50 million asking price is good? I feel like we could have done better there, but that is an interesting little feature. Now we need to report the glitch so that they can go out and they can fix it so that it doesn't tell me that the asking price is okay and then lower it by 30 million, $40 million. Because I was all excited. I thought we were getting 90 million for Renato Sanchez. Apparently we can only get 50, but that's okay. That's okay. This is obviously the sort of thing that can spoil your milk and ruin your night, but it's going to prevent you from just willy-nilly setting asking prices and then offering players out at those asking prices. What we had in previous versions of the game is that if you go and offer a player out, you get a bit of feedback that says, well, maybe they wouldn't want to be offered out. They could be angered. In this case, Jeremy Pied is okay. He's open to speaking with other clubs, but he would rather stay at Lille. You get that feedback already. Well, now we're getting that on setting the asking price as well, which is fair. That's public information, and the agent is definitely involved in that sort of thing in real life. And Football Manager is just making the game harder to play. It's making it more detailed, and so people like me are going to find it harder and harder to do the impossible. But we will. We will guide Flanagan's Onions to the Champions League, and there's nothing you can do to stop us, Sports Interactive. So stop now. But actually don't, because this sort of change is great. The thing about the transfer ranges I was talking about earlier, this is number 3, is that when you're looking through your player searches, your short lists, however you're finding your players, well, now if a asking price is set or a transfer list value is set, that value becomes locked. It's much easier to pick out of a crowd instead of the ranges of values that are there for players that don't have an asking price or a transfer list value set. You're able to differentiate between the two. You're able to do it quickly, and so not only are there improved UI changes that let you play the game faster, they also make the game more dynamic dependent and more realistic. Those were a lot of words, but it all made sense. I know. because it took me multiple times to say them. Actually, it's like the only part of this video that I got right the first time. The magic of television. I can't wait to find out the other things that FM22 is going to surprise me with that I like, and I can't wait to not find out the things that I don't like in FM22. But if you want to be around for that process, join one of the streams down in the description. I will see you on another video. NordVPN link down in the description, and I love you.